There's a set of demos that I love to do for center of mass that are much harder to do, when we're not in person. But I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm here and I'm going to do these demos. And the first one involves this question. I have this spike here, okay? And I also have, not dangerous at all, a series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 other spikes, okay? And my question is this: how could I possibly balance all of these spikes on the head of this one right here? And I know you're probably thinking, no, you can't do that. Or you're thinking, obviously you can do that, otherwise you wouldn't waste the time of doing this video, and you'd be right. But normally when I do this in front of a live class, I have some person who thinks they're very smart, and they come up and they start balancing the first one, and I'm holding this spike, right? And they're like this, and they're like this, and I'm right, and I end up getting stabbed. I get stabbed. And I guess the one perk of doing this remotely is that I can't get stabbed. Well, I can stab myself, I guess, but you can't stab me. So here's what's up. I am going to do some fancy footwork over to the side here, okay? And while I do that, I want you to think about what you would do to get all of these nails to balance on the head of just this one nail, okay? Go ahead, think about it while I work alone here. La-di-da, da-di-da, la-di-da-da, da-da-da. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I got it. I think something's happening here. Okay. I hope you have an answer, but in the meantime, I have an answer. And I've built this little contraption. Do you guys see this little contraption? And I've never tried this before in this environment, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to see if it works. And a little off, little off. But lo and behold, wow, oh my God. Can you even believe what you're seeing right now? So this is interesting, right? Whereas normally I would have gotten stabbed because people would try all these weird different contraptions, I made something here where there's an interesting thing going on. There's a bunch of weight on this side and there's a bunch of weight on this side, right? And the point that I've managed to balance it on is what we call the center of mass of an object, right? It's essentially the point where you can imagine all the other gangly parts disappearing, and you could think of all the mass actually being focused at that one little point. Okay, but there's something about this configuration here that I've done that actually makes this even more stable. And I want to put that question out to you. Why is it that somehow putting mass out on this side and putting mass out on this side has created a situation where it makes this easier to balance? And to give you a hint, I'm not the only one that's ever used this trick, right? Every time that you see like a high rope walker, right? Someone who walks on a rope and they have that big bar that they hold on either side, and they do this with it, and then they able to get from one side of the circus to the other side. In fact, there was a mind-blowingly nuts man who tied one of these ropes between the two World Trade Centers, right? He tied a rope between the two World Trade Centers. I think it's called Man on Wire. And there's a documentary, you can actually watch it if you're interested. And he walks from one tower to the other with nothing but his little tightrope walker bar, okay? Blows me away. I mean, just a crazy gust of wind would have made him end as spaghetti sauce down below in the streets. And he did. He made it across, and there's this documentary about it happening. And there was no nets or anything. But he must have had a lot of faith in that thing that he was holding, okay? So what is it about it? If that points the center of mass, why did I make this easier for myself by putting a bunch of weight over here and a bunch of weight over here? First 3 people to answer get an extra homework point, and looking forward to your responses.